Hello and welcome back to our YouTube channel. So in this video we are discussing a very important poem by Mudnakudu Chinnaswamy, If I Was a Tree. So in this poem, Mudnakudu Chinnaswamy represents a hypothetical scenario. Okay, what is a hypothetical scenario? Hypothetical means it is not actually true, but they are considering it. Okay, they are assuming something. For example, in this case, Mudnakudu Chinnaswamy is not actually a tree. He says, if I was a tree. Okay, so what would happen if I was a tree? So right now he is a human being. He is a human being, right? Yes, so he's a human being, but he's considering an hypothetical scenario. He says, if I was a tree, then what would happen? So first of all, before starting the poem, we need to consider this question right here before we start the poem, that why does the author wants to become a tree? Okay, why does the author or the poet, why does the poet wants to become a tree? See, this question is very important here because as human beings, we control the world, right? We control everything. Even the trees are controlled by the human beings. We can cut the trees wherever, whenever we want. We can use the trees however we want. Okay, we can cut them. We can make benches. We can make paper out of trees. We can do anything we want. So certainly, human beings have more autonomy, more power than any tree for that matter. Okay, but even after that, this person, Mudnakudu Chinnaswamy, he wants to become tree. He wants to give away all the powers of being a human being, and he wants to be a tree rather than being a human being. So why is that? There must be something wrong, no? Yes, this person is ready to give away all the power, all the liberty of being a human being, and he wants to become a tree. So there must be some serious reason that why does he wants to become a tree. So the answer lies in the main theme of the poem. So see, this poem is centered around the issue of caste discrimination. Caste discrimination. And what exactly is caste discrimination? Where you're discriminated on the basis of your caste. For example, in Hinduism we have four varnas. Yes, you know which are these four varnas: Brahmin, Kshatriya, Vaishya, and Shudras. And we have a term called as Dalits. And these Dalits are Ati Shudras. What? Ati Shudras. And these Ati Shudras, their only purpose, according to the Brahmins, their only purpose is to serve the upper caste people. Serve the upper caste people. And that's why for centuries these Dalit people have been treated as inhuman. Okay, inhuman. They are not considered as equal to the Brahmins or the upper caste people. They don't have the right to study knowledge. They can't learn Sanskrit. They were devoid of knowledge for centuries, but now the times are changing. But this poem shows us that how Dalits occupy the lowest strata in our Indian society, and then how they are treated as unequal, how they are not treated as other human beings, uh, such as the other three varnas. Okay, so this in this poem the author doesn't want to become a human being. He says that I want to become a tree rather than being a human being. And he says that he presents a hypothetical scenario wherein the author becomes the tree, and then what happens? He says, if I become a tree, then what would happen to me? Okay, so let us understand the entire poem by actually going through the poem. Okay, so the poem starts with the title of the poem, If I Was a Tree. The bird wouldn't ask me before the bird wouldn't ask me before it built its nest what caste I am. So he says that if I was a tree, the bird will come to me and it will build its nest and it will not ask me what is my caste. Okay, so we have two things here. The first of all, we have bird here, and bird is a part of nature, right? Yes, bird is a part of nature, and we have something called as nest. So it is not only nest, it is nest in the context of nature, but in human context, this nest means what? Home or house. So this has larger implications as well. Okay, so see, if a Dalit person has to buy a house in a village, hundreds of questions are asked to that person. What is your caste? What is your surname? Do you eat non-veg or no? What food diet you follow? Okay, so we live in a society wherein Dalits have no home. Even if they manage some money by working hard, if they manage some money, people will not give them their houses to rent. Okay, so having a house is very difficult job for Dalits. But if the poet becomes a tree, nobody will ask him what is his caste, and the bird will not discriminate on the poet. Okay, the bird will come on the tree, and it will build its nest, and it will do whatever it want, because the trees have no caste, the nature has no caste. This caste is created by human beings. Yes or no? Then on the next stanza, the poet says, when sunlight embraced me, my shadow wouldn't feel defiled. My friendship with the cool breeze and the leaves would be sweet. He says that in the first two lines, when sunlight embraced me, my shadow wouldn't feel defiled. Okay, so again we have one more natural element, sunlight, and we have one more human element, shadow. So again these are directly connected. When sunlight falls on us, we have a shadow, right? A human shadow is created. So similarly, when a sunlight falls on the tree, the shadow of the tree is also created, right? But there is no discrimination on the shadow of the tree. People enjoy sitting beneath the shadow of the tree. They can relax, they can sleep under the tree, enjoying the shadow of the tree. Okay, but when the shadow of a Dalit person falls upon a Savarna person, okay, suppose that if I am a Dalit person, and if my shadow falls on you, the upper caste person, then that person will feel defiled. Defiled meaning what? Defiled is something which is impure or not pure. So if a Dalit person's shadow will fall on a Savarna person, that person has to go to his home and take a bath. Why? Just to pure himself, because this Dalit person has, Dalit person's shadow has touched him, and that's why he has become defiled. Understood? So again, we have these very problematic concepts wherein even the shadow of Dalit people, it is considered as impure, and when this shadow touches the other person, that person becomes defiled. Okay, so that's why he says, I want to become a tree, because when I will become a tree, the sunlight will not discriminate on me, and my shadow will be considered as a pure shadow, and there will be no discrimination on the basis of my shadow just because I'm a Dalit. Okay, and when I will be a tree, there will be no tag of being Dalit. This tag will be removed. Okay, I will not be Dalit any longer. Then he says, my friendship with the cool breeze and the leaves would be sweet. He says that my friendship with the cool breeze and leaves would be sweet. So see, now in today's context, being a human being, the author has many difficulties to make friends. What difficulties, you may ask? See, for example, when you go to college or when you go to any social gatherings, people will ask your name, and specifically they will ask you your surname. Yes or no? So what do you think, what is the reason behind asking the surname? They ask your surname because they want to know what is your caste. And there are some people who make friendship on the basis of caste only. So if you belong to a lower caste, they will not be close to you. They will not want to be close to you, and they will not make friendship with you. Okay, and that's why the author says that if I become a tree, it will be very easier for me to make friendships with natural elements like cool breeze and leaves, because they will not ask me my caste. They will not ask me whether I'm a Dalit or not, whether I'm a Savarna person or not. Yes, and because the poet is being discriminated as a human being, that's why he wants to become a tree. Again, coming back to the same question. Okay, I hope till this much, till these lines we are clear. So let us move further towards the next stanza. In the next stanza, he says, raindrops wouldn't turn back, taking me for a dog eater. When I branch out further from my roots, Mother Earth wouldn't flee, shouting for a bath. So again, he says that raindrops wouldn't turn back, taking me for a dog eater. So again, raindrops again represents a natural elements. So again, nature will not discriminate on me if I become a tree. Nature will not discriminate, and just because I am a Dalit, the raindrops would not turn back. They will fall on me equally as the other elements of nature. Okay, just because I'm a Dalit tree, they will not turn back. They will fall equally on me as well. Okay, so this term dog eater is specifically used here to represent the insult that the Dalit people face in the society. So what is the meaning of dog eater here? So dog eater has a very larger meaning and very sensitive meaning as well. So dog eater here simply means the assumption that the Brahmins have among themselves, or the upper caste people have among themselves. They feel that these Dalits, no, they will eat anything you give them. They have no standard and they will eat anything you provide them. So this is a belief among the upper caste people that these are dog eaters. If you give them a dog, they will kill it and eat it. If you give them a cat, they will just kill it and eat it, because these are inhuman people. They are not civilized according to the upper caste people. And that's why the author is fed up of being a human being and he wants to become a tree rather than being a human being, because after becoming a tree, nobody is calling him a dog eater. There is no insult, and the raindrops are falling equally on him. And being a human being, there is no equality. Okay. And further he says, when I branch out further from my roots, Mother Earth wouldn't flee, shouting for a bath. So again, some more reference to shadows are being made here. He says that when I branch out, so branching out again has two meanings here. So when the tree is branching out, this represents the growth of the tree. The tree is growing, and along with the tree, the shadow of the tree is also growing. So this is one meaning. So we have one more meaning here, and we need to understand both the meanings. So in the human context, this branching out means what? See, as a human being, we need to have some mobility. We need to roam around the village. We need to go around the town to buy things, to work, okay, to earn a livelihood. We need to move around, and when we move around, with us, our shadow also moves around. Yes or no? And if accidentally our shadow falls on a Savarna person, that person will run to his home, okay, shouting for a bath, because he feels that just because he has touched the shadow of a Dalit person, he has been defiled, he has become impure, okay, and he will go shouting around the village, shouting towards his home to take a bath, just to pure himself. So that's why the author again is fed up of this social and cultural stigma that the Dalit people have to face every day, and that's why he wants to become a tree, because when he becomes a tree, no matter how bigger his shadow becomes, how bigger the tree becomes, people would not flee from him. The Mother Earth represents what here? The Mother Earth is nothing but the people. They will not flee from the tree because it is a Dalit tree. Okay, so that's why again the author says that if I was a tree, I would not be discriminated. So moving on to the next stanza, he says, the author says, the sacred cow would scrape her body on my back, scratching wherever it itched, and the 3,000 gods 300,000 gods sheltering inside her would touch me. So again, as we know, the cow is a very sacred symbol, sacred religious symbol in Hinduism, right? Yes. So cow is considered as a religious and sacred symbol in Hinduism. We consider cow as our mother. That's why we call cow as Go Mata. So what is the meaning of Go Mata? Go is cow and Mata is what? Mother. So we consider cow as our mother. Okay, and we believe that there are all our gods are there inside the belly of the cow. Okay, and I don't know if you know this or no, Earlier, when this caste system was on the peak, Dalits were not allowed to keep cows in their houses because the cows were a religious symbol and they were very sacred. They were considered very sacred, and that's why the Dalits were not allowed to keep the cows in their houses. That's why he says that now as a human being I don't have any contact with the cow. Okay, so only by becoming a tree I would have this contact with the cow, because when I will become a tree, the cow will not discriminate on me. The cow can easily come towards me and it can scratch herself wherever it is itching on her body. You must have seen many cows and buffaloes scratching their body on tree barks. So when I will become a tree, the cow will freely come to me and it will scratch her body against my bark, and it will, get satisfied. Yes, and when the cow is scratching her body against me, with the belly, with the skin of the cow, the 300,000, okay, 300,000 gods which are there inside the belly of the cow will touch me. So again, this line has a lot of meaning here. So again, if you know, in some temples there is no entry for Dalits. I don't know if you know this or no. In some temples there is no entry for Dalits. So that's why he says that. So only by becoming a tree I would have the touch of these gods, because through the cow these gods are also touching me. I'm having the union, the embrace with the gods as well, along with the cow. So again he says that in today's situation as a human being, there is no entry for me, okay, to become one with the god. I can't enter the temple because there is no entry. I can't feed the cow because you are not allowing me to be in contact of the cow. But by becoming a tree, there are no restrictions. I can be a equal element of nature, and the cow can come to me. I can have the darshan of the gods. Yes, the gods can touch me. Okay, and finally, I can be in the contact of the god. And lastly, in the last stanza, he says that who knows at the end. So this line, this word especially, end, represents multiple things here. So this end is the end of the tree as well, and the end of human life as well. Okay, so you need to understand the meaning of this line in both this context. He wants to become a tree, but right now he's a human being. Yes or no? So he says that who knows at the end. So at the end means the end of life. Okay, so when we see the end of tree's life, it will turn into what? Wood, right? And when human life ends, our human life ends, we turn into what? A mere body. Okay, when the life goes out, only body remains. He says that at the end, hacked into pieces of dry wood, burning in the holy fire. He says that if I am a tree, if I become a tree, at the end, after my death, okay, after the tree dies, only wood will remain, only dry wood will remain, and that wood will be used to burn a holy fire. My wood will be used to burn a holy fire. So what is this holy fire? So we have largely two types of holy fires in Hinduism. Okay, so we have largely two types of holy fire in Hinduism. The first fire is the fire we light in pujas or in havans, okay, in marriages or in other auspicious ceremonies. We light this havan, no? So we use this fire in pujas and havans, which is very, again, very auspicious, very important part of Hindu religion. And again, these Dalits, they don't have any entry in these pujas or in these havans, okay. And this other burning is nothing but the burning of funeral pyre. Funeral pyre. Okay, I hope you know what is your funeral pyre. Chita. Okay. So he says that if I become a tree, I would get the opportunity to burn as a dry wood in the holy fire, meaning in a puja or in a funeral pyre. Because right now, as a human being, I can't enjoy this liberty. I don't have the liberty to attend pujas. I don't have the liberty to attend Brahmin funerals or upper caste funerals. and this have larger meaning as well. So see, I don't know if you know this or no, but in some villages there is no place for Dalits to, to burn their bodies. For example, in our cities we have a separate cremation ground for Muslims, separate cremation, separate burning ground for Marathas, for Lingayats we have a separate burning ground. Yes or no? So there are some sections and there are categories. And but in villages there is no category for the Dalits. They don't have any place to burn their dead bodies. They have to cross the river, okay, to burn their bodies. And why do they have to cross the river? Because river marks the boundary of the village, meaning they have to cross the river, they have to cross the village to burn their bodies, meaning they are not a part of this village, they don't belong to this village, so they have no existence in the village. Even to burn their bodies they have to cross the river and go outside. Okay, I hope you're getting to know what I'm trying to say here. This poem has a lot of meaning. Okay, it is a very meaningful and sensitive poem. And lastly, he says, I might be made pure or becoming the bier of for a sinless body, be born on the shoulders of four good men. So again, these two lines have a lot of meaning here. He says that I might be made pure. He says I might be made pure. So right now I am impure. So he says that I might be made pure or becoming the bier. So this bier is nothing but, we have a bier, right? At the end of our life we have a bier wherein we carry the dead body. In Marathi we call this tirdi. Okay, so this is the bier. It is made at the end of our life. Okay, and on this we carry the dead body. Okay, so he says that when the tree dies at the end of the tree's life, the wood of the tree would be used to create this bier. Okay, the wood of will be used to create this bier. Okay, to carry the sinless body. And why they have said sinless body? Because after death there is no punya or papa, right? It is just a mere body, it is a sinless body, without a name, without anything. It is just a body, okay, a human body. It has no caste. And he says that be born on the shoulders of four good men, and this tirdi or this bier will be carried by four men, four good men. And these four good men could be Brahmins, could be Dalits, it could be anyone, depending upon which person has died. Okay, depending upon which person has died. So he says that at the end, no matter what tree I am, my wood will be used to carry a dead body. And this dead body can be a Brahmin dead body, a Dalit dead body, or a Vaishya or Shudra dead body. Okay, and in for all these four varnas we have the same tirdi, same bier to carry that dead body. Yes or no? So he says that only by becoming the tree I would be treated equal, because right now, being a human being, there is no equality for me. People treat me as if I am an animal. They treat me worse than the animal. Okay, they treat me as dirt. Yes or no? They treat me as if I don't exist in their world. That's why the author, wants to become the tree. Clear? So the obvious question on this poem would be, why does the author wants to become a tree? And throughout the discussion we have discussed that only. We have discussed why does the author wants to become a tree. The simple answer is there is no equality in being a human being. Just because the author is Dalit, he is being discriminated in the society. There is no equality. Okay, and that's why to become equal he wants to become a tree. And what would happen if he becomes a tree? He would be part of a part of the nature, and nature does not discriminate on anybody. Yes or no? The rain, the sunlight, the shadow, it will not discriminate on anybody. It will not ask you what is your caste, because the nature is equal. Okay, we are equal in the eyes of nature, and it is the human beings who have created caste, and that's why this problem has arisen here. This has become a very lengthy video, sorry for that, But I hope I have made justice to this very meaningful poem by Mudnakudu Chinnaswamy. Uh, I hope you all your doubts are clear now, and very thank you so much for watching. Yes, see you next time. Thank you.